Hello everybody, this is Claire Taylor-Powell and I'm recording my first podcast regarding your soul contract. I'm recording it on the 2nd of February 2020 and this is a rather rare and important and impressive palindrome because it reads, the series of numbers reads the same forwards as backwards, 02/02/2020. And I thought it would be a lovely auspicious day to start these recordings and start to share my philosophies and my thoughts and observations with you in the hope that it might bring you some insight, some comfort and some joy in your life ahead on planet Earth. And you might ask, why is 02/02/2020 a palindrome really quite significant? And it's the same with all sorts of things: numerology, astrology, sacred geometry, divination. All of these things help us to determine meaning in our lives, to help identify the guidance and the support that is on hand for us, and to take some comfort from the fact that we're not alone. And that's probably an oft-used statement, but we're not alone on the planet. Aside from all of the human beings and the creature beings and all of nature, we do have help and support, and there's a very good reason for that, because we're here on Earth for a purpose. If you're anything like me, there will be many times during your life where you've thought, what is the point of me being here, living this life on this planet? And certainly, perhaps you've spent much of your life, as I did, following sort of societal expectations, norms, values, and chasing the dream. And what did that dream look like? It looked like financial security, material wealth, career advancement, status, recognition, power, perhaps. It also perhaps looked like romantic success, living the life of your dreams with your knight on a white charger or your knightess on a white charger. And then perhaps you may have achieved some or all of that. You may have worked really hard to bring all of that about. And perhaps when you looked around you at that moment and you wondered, well, why aren't I feeling the joy? Why is this not bringing me happiness? Why do I feel empty inside? I've worked so hard for this. This was the promise, the dream. Where is the sense of fulfillment and real achievement on a profound level? And I reached that point at the age of 45. So I would say I'm quite a slow learner, and it took me quite a long time to reach the point where I started to ask those questions. And also there was a point where I thought, I'm fed up of living this life the way I have been living it all of these decades. I want to do something different, be different, behave differently. And unfortunately, I didn't really have a clue what that meant, because I'd spent so long behaving in a way that I didn't really want to repeat or continue. So I started to ask the questions, what is the point? What has all of this been for, this life of ups and downs, lots of ups and lots of plunging downs, chaos and flow, joy and happiness and misery and self-sabotage. And so I started to ask those questions. And over the last, oh crikey, I'm 58 this year, so do the maths. Over the last decade or so, I've been reading, exploring, and searching for the meaning in my life. And I do believe I've stumbled across it, which of course was down to divine intervention, all of my own making, I might add. And the reason for that is because I have formed this philosophy based on my reading and my exploration of many illumined beings that have walked this path before me, and come across something that I have penned called Your Soul Contract. Your Soul Contract. What is it? And to answer that question, we need to go back a little bit into some perhaps core beliefs and principles that I uphold as my truth. And here's the thing, here's the truth. This is my truth. It doesn't have to be your truth. I don't actually believe in the truth. There is only one truth, and that's the one that I resonate with, that I feel aligned with, that brings me joy. that truth will be different for you, for every single person on the planet. So we've come across our truth. We define our truth by listening to other people's truths and just checking out the size, the fit. Does it feel comfortable for us? Yes, we'll take it on board. No, actually, that's not me. So we'll just leave that with the greatest of respect and we'll walk on and we'll continue our journey. So I've gathered together these principles and philosophies that have led me to put them under the umbrella of your soul contract. So the first thing I believe in is that we have multiple lives, multiple incarnations, not just on planet Earth, but other planets in other galaxies. And the reason we do that is because we want to expand and grow our soul. And I have to say that quite carefully, our soul. What is our soul? It's the very essence of who we are. We exist beyond this human body. We exist in outside linear time and space. We exist as a spark of divine consciousness, neutral energy of light. And the only way that we can grow and expand is by having experiences beyond that energetic beingness. And we choose to come and incarnate, manifest in different forms. So we don't just arrive on a planet randomly, chaotically, and just hope that things come our way and that we can use the experience to learn something about ourselves as a soul. No. We come with a plan, and boy, does that appeal to me. We come with an extraordinarily intricate, elaborate, detailed plan called the soul contract. And it details every single potential that can happen in the lifetime that we could possibly realize during that incarnation. I call it like a script, and it reminds me of Ernie Wise. For people of a certain age, here's the script, what I wrote. And we compile this script, we write and compose this script before we incarnate with our spirit guides and mentors and our soul family group members. And every time before we incarnate, we sit down and discuss what it is that we want to learn and discover, and how do we want to grow in that lifetime. And we devise this most beautiful story, this most exquisite adventure on Earth in this instance. And all our family soul group members elect to come in as different personalities, soul aspects of their own. And we all form this most magnificent troupe of actors and actresses, and we come down to Earth in various ways and guises, and we each work through our lifetime to fulfill the soul contract and achieve that moment of growth and expansion. Now that sounds pretty easy. If we incarnated and we remembered that we are divine soul aspects of source energy, the universal consciousness, and we're here to have experiences, and they're all of our own making, and they're all of our own volition and desire, we would breeze through life. And I dare say there would be no suffering, no mishaps, no chaos, no self-sabotage, and all of that. So where's the growth? Where's the fun? Where's the growth in that? No, that would be too easy. There's no point in coming down knowing the point of it all beforehand. So we devise this extraordinary plot where we incarnate generally as little humans in our mother's womb, and then we are born. And between the ages of 0 and up to 7, but probably a lot earlier, we forget what we remembered, that we are divine souls incarnating in human form for soul expansion and growth, and that everything that happens around us is for us at our own request. We forget that, and by the age of 7, we're absolutely in a state of total forgetting of all of that, and all we remember and recall is that we are humans on a 3D planet having a human experience, and it's really quite heavy and challenging for most of us. We think we're alone, we think we're separate from source. Most of us don't even know what source is, apart from tomato sauce. And so it's a life of struggle and real challenge, and it can be really quite heavy and upsetting. And, you know, therein lies the path of suffering. And so over time, when we've chased our dream in the 3D world, we've chased our material wealth and all of that, and we get to a point where we're looking into the wide blue yonder and going, what is the point? I feel empty inside, and I'm not enjoying this one bit, and I've had enough. And we start asking the questions, what next? And then we start the process of remembering, and this is the journey of the soul contract. We deliberately come in forgetting and experiencing everything that we're not, in a slow process of remembering everything that we truly are. And that's the soul contract. So it's an empowering, joyful way of explaining why we're here, because we're here to grow. And we're not only growing as an individual soul, because actually the individual soul is more a personality aspect. We're actually learning and growing on behalf of the collective consciousness, the one big soul. You may call it by many other names. Some people call it heaven or God. I call it source energy. And through our experiences in our human bodies, as our little divine soul, all of those experiences are then enjoyed and lived through vicariously by the big soul, the consciousness. And then through all of our experiences, that consciousness learns about itself. And Eckhart Tolle made the most beautiful statement where he said, consciousness manifests so that it may know itself. And I totally concur with that, Eckhart. Thank you for saying it so gracefully. So here we are in our process of remembering, understanding more and more what our soul contract is about. And the next part of the journey is to explore the detail of the soul contract and work out what exactly it is that we set ourselves a goal, of the aims and achievements of the soul contract. And I do believe we can work that out in many varied ways. But I think that's for another. I think that's for another recording. So just to close and to celebrate this 02/02/2020 recording, I'm going to select the Oracle card deck, the Starseed Oracle. I'm not sure that that's going to come through terribly well, by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel did the artwork. And I'm just going to select an Oracle card to see what the advice and guidance and support and illumination is for us this evening. And there's no right or wrong card, one just generally presents itself in whatever way it wants to. And then the card is pulled, and the card says, trust the timing. Trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on, time is not running out. And I'm just going to read the spiritual message that comes with this card. Trust the timing, 114. So often those who feel they're here for a reason sense that time is running out, and they spend their life worrying that they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or miss your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out in perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust the one you're in. Don't let impatience, comparison, competition, or paranoia disturb the seeds. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days, constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a potential threat. Keeping our mind and body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now, you're being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave you came in on, to trust the season you are in. Time isn't running out. There's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it's never too late. Thank you, Rebecca. So that's the guidance and the gentle reminder for us. We're on a perfect incarnation. Everything is happening exactly as it's meant to happen, as we intended for it to And the more we listen to the signs and synchronicities, the more we develop our trust in our inner knowing, the more we can channel divine wisdom, the more we gracefully and elegantly and joyfully we will walk on our soul's journey to mastery. And on that hopefully uplifting note, I leave you for this evening, and I wish you a peaceful night's sleep and a joyful day tomorrow. Thank you for your time and for your energy. Blessed be.